students. Yesterday, I have started fifth unit, that is securitization of debt. In that, we have seen the meaning of securitization, and we have seen regarding the debt and what are the conventional and securities differences between those two things, and we have seen the differences of securitization and factoring. So today's topic is operational mechanism of securitization. So let's see what are the mechanisms are there under securitization. So for the operational mechanism for securitization, the following parties are required. So first, mainly the parties are required. So without the parties, you cannot operate mechanism for securitization. So let's see who are the parties under securitization for the mechanism. The first one is the operator, and the second one is special purpose vehicle or trust. Third one is a merchant or investment banker. Fourth one is credit rating agency, and the fifth one is servicing agent, receiving and paying agent, and the next one is the original borrower or obligators, and the last one the prospective investors, that is buyers of securities. So there are 7 parties under operational mechanism for securitization. So let's see one by one. The first one, he's saying that the originator. So who will be called as an originator? The originator is a person who is going to do his business in his hometown. So now he is going to do everything, and he is going to start the business, and he is going to take the responsibilities of everything, and he is going to establish the business in his hometown. The person who is going to start his business in his hometown, he is be called as originator. So now this originator is going to take care of everything regarding the business, regarding the securitization, regarding the debts, regarding the credit risk, and what are the things are involved in that particular business. Like the originator is going to take care of everything, and he will be called as the first party under operational mechanism for securitization. So without this person, the things cannot be possible to do under securitization. So he is called as main person, and he will be the first party under the securitization. So he will be called as an originator. And the next one, special purpose vehicle or trust. Special purpose vehicle or trust is nothing but whatever things are there regarding that particular business. So we need to transfer the goods, right? So for that particular goods, they'll be having a special purpose vehicle, so they cannot transfer that particular goods into the normal vehicle. So they'll be having a special purpose vehicles. In that only they have to transfer the goods, whether import the goods or whether to export the goods. I told you under securitization, two things are there, that is exporting business and importing business. So now here, for doing exporting or importing, they will be having a special purpose vehicle. So they cannot use a normal vehicles, because it will be having a different license, it will be having some number. So with that particular things, the people will identify it is an exporting and importing vehicle. So always under securitization, they have to use the special purpose vehicles. They cannot use the normal vehicles under this. And the next one is a credit rating agency. Credit rating agency is nothing but what this agency will play an important role under securitization. So credit rating is nothing but what this under credit rating, they are going to take the information regarding the people, those who have to clear the credit. So now this credit rating is nothing but what, so based upon the income level, based upon the due amounts, they are going to give the rating for that particular credit. Here, suppose if 5 persons are there, in that the first person is having more debt, like some 5 lakhs rupees, so he'll be giving the first preference. Like in that way, they are going to give the credit rate agency. So this credit rate agency will play an important role regarding the taking care of the credit risk things and all. And what are the debts are there, what are the due payments are there, everything will be taken care of by this agency. And the next one is a servicing agent, receiving and paying agent. So here the servicing agent, what he'll do is going to collect the things and is going to make the payment. So suppose 2 persons are there, like importer and exporter. So from these 2 people is going to receive the amount, so he has to pay. The payments has to be done through the servicing agency. So directly the importer and exporter cannot transfer the transactions, they cannot do the transactions. So here between these 2 people, the service agency will be there. So the agency will take care of the receivables and the making the payments of that particular things whatever are there in that particular business. So this agency will play an important role. So without this agency, the transactions cannot be possible. So this is regarding the servicing agent, receiving and paying agent. Next, the original borrower or obligator. The original borrower is nothing but for the person like from whom he is going to take the borrowings. Like suppose in the particular business, the original borrower will be called as the originator, that is, or the obligator. The first person, the first party will be called as the original borrower here. So from this original borrower, people will borrow the money and they are going to do the business. So suppose like under him there are some five other persons are there, but they want to do the business. If they don't have sufficient money to do the business, so what they do, they are going to approach this original borrower and they are going to take the amount from this particular borrower and they are going to start the business on a particular interest rate. So he cannot get free of cost. He is going to charge some percentage on that particular things whatever the people are going to take from him. So the person who is going to give the money to other people to do the business will be called as the original borrower. The next one is the prospective investor, that is the buyer of security. The prospective investor, nothing but the person who is going to buy the securities will be called as an investor. Why? Because he is going to invest such an amount into the business to buy that particular security. So suppose I want to take the securities, I want to buy the security, so here I will be called as an investor. Some other people are there, they want to buy the security, so they will be called as a prospective investor. So the person who is going to buy the securities of that particular business will be called as the prospective investor. So here this investor has to take care of everything while buying securities. So he need to know the rules and regulations, he should know the conditions of that particular securities, and what is the due date, what are the things are there involved in that particular things, what is the risk, what risk is there, everything the investor he himself has to know. No one will give him the information, and he should, before investing the amount into the securities, before buying the securities, it is his responsibility that he need to take care of everything. After knowing everything only, he can buy the securities. So these are the parties which are involved under the operational mechanism of securitization. So and after the parties, here we'll be having some things, the various stages involved in the working of securitization. So after the parties, we are having the various stages involved in the working securitization. Let's see what are those. The first one is identification stage, the second one is transfer stage, the third one is issue stage, fourth one is redemption stage, fifth one is credit rating stage. So let's see one by one. The first one is identification stage. So what things are there in the identification stage? Let's see. The lending financial institution, either a bank or any other institution for that matter, which decides to go for securitization of its assets is called the originator. So I told you now. So the person who is going to take the assets or going to take the responsibility of that particular business will be called as originator. So here under identification process, the originator is going to involved in this, and the originator might have got assets comprising of a variety of receivables like commercial mortgages, lease receivables, hire purchase receivables, etc. So the originator is going to receive variety of assets like commercial mortgages, lease receivables or hire purchase. So what are the lease receivables are there, the originator is going to take care of that. What are the hire purchase receivables are there, that will be taken care of by the originator. And what are the mortgages cases are there, that will be taken care of by the originator. Here the originator has to pick up a pool of assets homogeneous nature considering the maturities, interest rate involved, frequency of repayments and marketability. So he has to take care of, apart from those hire purchase and lease, he has to take care about the interest rate involved. So what is the interest rate and what are the frequency of repayments, so what are the repayments are there, that he has to take care of this. And what are the marketability situations are there, what the market is going to follow, everything he should know in a proper way. So as a originator, it is his responsibility that he should know, and he has to know about he should know, identify these things under his particular business. This process of selecting a pool of loans receivables from the assets portfolio for securitization is called identification process. So the exact meaning is what? The process of selecting a pool of loans and receivables. So whatever the loans are there, whatever the receivables are there from the assets portfolio for securitization. So whatever the assets portfolios are there, from that whatever the things is going to receive like loans and receivables will be called as identification process. So under identification process, he has to identify those lease things, he has to identify the higher purchase things, what are the interest rates are involved in this, what are the marketability situations are there, that he should know, what is the frequency of that repayments, everything as an originator he should know under identification process. So next one is transfer process. So after identification process, the next one is transfer process. So what is the transfer process? After the identification process is over, the selected pool of assets are then passed through to another institution which is ready to help the originator to convert those pool of assets into securities. So now here once the originator is going to do the identification process, then that particular things will be transferred to another institution who are ready to help the originator to convert that particular pool of assets into the securities. So that pool of assets which the other person is going to help the originator to convert that pool of assets into the securities. So this is under transfer. So what he is doing, he is taking the things and the next other party is going to help, other institution is going to help the originator to convert that particular pool of assets into the security. So this is under the transfer process. This institution is called the special purpose vehicle or the trust. So this will be called as a trust. The person who is going to help the originator to convert the particular pool of assets into the securities will be called as trust here. The pass-through transactions between the originator and the SPV, either by way of outright sale, that is full transfer of assets in question for valuable consideration, or by passing them for a collateralized loan. So here there are two things are involved. They can be choose anyone, whichever they feel comfortable. Generally it is done on outside sale basis. So mostly they are going to prefer the outright sale basis apart from the collateral loans. So this is easy for them to do the transfer, so that is the reason they are going to opt for the outright sale basis. This process of passing through the selected pool of assets by originator to a SPV is called transfer process. So what are the things are going to involve in these two things? That is the conversion of the pool of assets into security. This will be called as transfer process. And the next one is issue process. So let's see what is the meaning of issue process. After this transfer process is over, the SPV takes up the one now task of converting these assets of various types of different maturities. It is on the basis of SPV issue securities to investors. So now this SPV securities to investors, they are going to give the issue process. So after the transfer process is over, next step is the issue process. That means they are going to issue that particular securities to the particular investor, those who are ready to take the securities. The SPV actually split the package into individual securities of small value, and they are sold to the investing public. So this are going to be divide. They are going to divide the things, and they are going to sold that particular things into the market. The SPV gets itself reimbursed out the sale proceeds. The securities issued by the SPV is called by different name like pay-through certificate, pass-through certificate, interest-only certificate, principal-only certificate. Pay-through certificate is nothing but what? So what are the payments are going to be done? That will be called as pay-through, like on the basis of cash transaction. That will be called as pass-through pay-through certificates. Pass-through is nothing but what? Which are going to transfer the securities. That will be called as pass-through certificate. Interest-only certificate is nothing but what? After issuing is over, after issuing process is done, then they are going to issue the interest only certificate. And lastly, principal only certificate is nothing but what? If that particular customer is going to clear complete payment, full amount of that particular investment of securities, so that will be called as principal only certificate. So these are the things which are involved under the issue process. And the next one is redemption process. The redemption and the repayment of interest on these securities are facilitated by the collections received by the SPV from the securities assets. So whatever the facility that are collections received by the SPV from the securities assets will be called as redemption process. The task of collection of dues is generally entrusted to the originator, or a special servicing agent can be appointed for this purpose. So for this redemption process here, they are going to appoint one special servicing agent, or the originator himself is going to take care of the things. If the originator is not able to do the things in a proper way, then they can able to appoint special servicing agency. So these people are going to do the things in a proper way. This agency is paid a certain percentage of commission for the collection services rendered. So whatever that particular agent is going to render the services for that particular services, is going to get some commission from the originator. So whatever the service is going to render for that particular things, and the servicing agent is responsible for collecting the principal and interest payments on assets pooled. So the servicing agent is responsible for collection of the interest and collection of the principal amount, whatever he has to collect from the other party. So he is the whole and sole responsible person to collect the principal and interest payments. So what for the pooled assets, usually the originator is appointed as a services, and thus under securitization the role of originator get reduced to that of collection agent on behalf of the SPV in case he is appointed as a collection agent. So in case if this originator is appointed as a collection agent, so then they are going to appoint one service agent as a agent for collecting the payments from particular people. So this is regarding the redemption process. And the last is credit rating process. Since the pass-through certificate have to be publicly issued, they require credit rating by good credit rating agencies so that they become more attractive and easily acceptable. So from the agency, they are going to get the credit rating certificate. With the help of this credit rating certificate, there will be a chances of getting more attractive and easily acceptable things in the market. Hence, these certificates are rated at least by one credit rating agency on eve of the securitization. So at least from one agency, they have to get the certification for this credit rating so that they can be easily understood by the people in the market. The issue could also be guaranteed by external guarantor institutes like merchant bankers, which would enhance the credit worthiness of the credit certificate and would be readily acceptable to the investors. So apart from that, other agencies, they can approach the merchant banking to give the certificate for this credit rating. So with the help of this credit rating certificate, they can easily understood by the people, so people are ready to do the business with a particular agency. So this is regarding the credit rating process. So these are the things which are involved in the operational mechanism of securitization. So next topic I'm going to continue in the next video.